So I was wearing a shirt the other day and my wife and I got to talking about like how cool of a compliment it is to be good natured. Like there's nothing bad in good natured. It's all good, right? And what does it mean to be a good natured person? And I'm going to talk more about that as it applies to the journey of a real estate agent on this video and more. Hi, I'm Mikesh, and I share proven tools and strategies that I use to grow and scale my real estate business over the past 20 years. So I'm titling this video, The Best Realtors Must Have This. And this is good natured. Like you have to be a good person. And let me tell you why that is and how over the years I've seen people come and go in this industry and why I think that that's an absolute must if you're going to be one of the best. So often I see people come into this industry, people with backgrounds, people with education, people with skill sets that are quite frankly amazing. But if at the core of all those skills and that person, if they don't have empathy for other people and they're not really a good-natured person, I don't see those people succeed in the long term. They may come in like a flash out of the pan, but like you have to ask yourself, like, are you good natured? Are you really doing this to help people? And what's super cool about that is if you'll help enough people get what they want and what they need, you'll get what you need. So it's a Zig Ziglar quote. It's a principle. I found it to be super true in my life. And anybody that I know that really strives to add value to other people and they're good natured, they see that too. So you've got to have a lot of empathy. You've got to be able to really understand like, what are the challenges? What are the problems that people have? Because as real estate agents, really we're problem solvers. You know, people have a budget, people have needs, people have desires, and you need to try to make that budget accomplish everything. Or if you're in a low inventory market like we've been in for the past couple of years, you need to figure out how are you going to get your person into that house? How are you going to get that contract accepted for them? And a lot of times it takes going above and beyond. It takes having empathy for them and really doing whatever it takes to get them in that property. And I think when we approach this business, this career as a real estate agent, if we're really just in it for us, if we're in it to make a buck, you know, you're going to have a very difficult time and you're probably not going to make it. So this idea that we're good natured is that we're coming with a skill set and we're going to come in here and we're going to do it in a way that really cares for the people that we're serving and allows us to, you know, be a good person, not only with the people that we're helping to buy and sell a home, but also the other agents that we deal with. And I feel like if I could go back and change one thing about my career, if I could have done one thing differently, I would have been nicer to my fellow agents. I feel like sometimes I had my head down and I was so focused on the goals of myself and my clients that I just kind of railroaded people, you know, realistically. And like, I would go back and I would have been nicer too, because at the end of the day, those agents, they're just trying to do the best for their clients too. And a lot of times they're going through a lot and we just need to chill and have a little bit more empathy with our other agents as well. And being a good natured agent doesn't mean just being a good person. Like there's so many different hats that we have to wear in this business. And there's no book that better describes these different hats that I've come across than The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. And in this book, they talk about 3 different hats that everybody who operates in a business setting needs to wear. And they are the hat of the entrepreneur, the hat of the manager, and the hat of the technician. And when I look at my real estate journey over, you know, the 20-year period, when I first started, I was a technician. I was doing the thing. I was a salesperson. I was going out and I was opening doors and I was showing property and I was listing property. I was a technician. And so often, as Michael Gerber talks about in this book, we start out doing the thing, right? So in his book, there's a fable about a lady who makes pies. She starts out making pies because she loves to make pies. And she thinks because she loves to make pies and she's really good at making pies that she can have a pie business. And that's where everything starts to unravel. So definitely read the book. It's awesome. But from the context of a real estate agent, you know, most of us end up becoming business owners because we start out selling real estate. And if we do a really good job selling real estate, we eventually get so busy that we don't have enough time in the day to serve all the people and all the leads that we're getting and all the referrals that we're generating. So we start a team. And the minute we start a team, we become a business owner because now it's outside of us. It's involving other people. And once you have a business, you also have to wear the manager hat and the entrepreneur hat. Now, let me explain the manager and the entrepreneur for you for a minute. The entrepreneur is somebody who has a vision. has an idea and a destiny of how big and where the business is going and who it's going to serve. And then the manager is the one that manages the processes, the people, all of the to-dos that need to happen in that business for it to remain and be a viable business. So you got the entrepreneur, somebody who casts the vision, who has the leadership, and he basically inspires everybody, or she inspires everybody to come along on a journey. Then the manager makes sure that everybody makes it safely along that journey, and the technician is the one actually doing the work to make and realize the vision. So a lot of times we come into this and we start out as a technician, and then we want to have a business. Well, as soon as we have that business, we need to make sure that we're managing the business well. And that involves us to take off one hat and go from one role to another role. And I think this is where real estate businesses start to get confusing, and they start to a lot of times not make a lot of sense, because we may have been really good as a technician, but now we need to step in and be the manager. And if we don't have any skills or any desire around that, a lot of times the business can implode. So either you have to do it and you have to understand what those roles and responsibilities are in each one of these different hats, or you have to bring in people to help you, which is totally fine. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and his business is just going gangbusters. And when we were talking, we're like, man, you don't want to do the manager role, and I get it, and that's not really your skill set, but somebody's got to do it. So if your business is going to continue to grow and double and triple in size like it's been, you better get somebody in place to run that role and wear that hat. It's super critical to your overall growth. So if you're a good-natured person, if you're a good-natured agent and you want to be the best and you have a lot of empathy and you want to serve not only the clients that are buying and selling homes with you, but also the people that are working with you now in this business, and you want to do the right thing, which you probably do if you're still listening to this, you need to take an assessment of where your business is at. How are you fulfilling and wearing the role of the entrepreneur? How are you fulfilling the role of the manager? And how are you fulfilling the role of the technician? And to make that a little bit easier for you, I've actually included in the description to this video the summary for the E-Myth by Michael Gerber. So you don't have to read the whole book. You can if you want, and you definitely should. But I'm going to include a PDF of the summary of it where you can read that in 10, 15 minutes and really take an assessment of where your business is. And really, understand that if you're in this for the long term, you're going to be a good-natured agent, and you're going to want to do it because you're going to want to do it well, and you're going to want to serve the people the best you can. If you're in it just to make a quick buck, that ship has probably sailed. The market's probably going to be a little bit harder than it has been for most people in most areas over the next couple of years. And I think it's the ones that really have the empathy and the good nature that are going to shine during this time. So go there, be encouraged, be excited, and figure out where is an area that you need to work on your business. If there's anything I can do to help or support you, or you have questions, feel free to drop them in the comments, and I'll be sure to answer each and every one of them personally.